President-elect Trump over the weekend. Discussions were focused on the state and local tax deductions. Lawmakers are aiming to raise the $10,000 cap that President Trump and lawmakers originally put on us in 2017. The SALT deductions are set to expire after 2025. Joining us with more is Nathan Dean of Bloomberg Intelligence. Nathan, I would imagine President Trump is on board with removing the cap, as he said to voters when he was campaigning in Long Island that he would get rid of it. So what's the holdup?
Well, the holdup is that, for these tax extensions, it's going to cost around $4 to $4.5 trillion to pay for them. And you got to figure out how to get that number close. And the SALT deduction, if you will, is an easy way for the majority of politicians around the United States to say, look, let's pay for the tax extensions for all to the detriment of those of you in New York and New Jersey. Now, when this salty caucus, if you will, what they're calling around here in Washington, met with President Trump, one of the ideas was going from 10,000 to 20,000. That's what President Trump, I think, is on board with at the moment, but certainly not the 100,000 or elimination of the cap that the folks from New York and New Jersey certainly want. Now, as these negotiations take place and as we get closer to an idea of where the tax extension bill will look like, we'll see how the SALT deduction plays into that. But when you can only lose 3 to 5 votes on the Republican side, and there are going to be no Democratic votes as part of this process, it's going to be very difficult to figure out how to increase that cap for the folks in New York, but also pay for the tax extensions for the rest of America.
Right. Even if you put away the math for a moment here, what is going to be more politically favorable?
So I think politically favorable is to have those tax extensions continue. I mean, I apologize again to those of you in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, but there are a lot of lawmakers across the United States that use this as an easy way to pay for it. Paying for $4.5 trillion of tax extensions is not going to be easy. There's been a lot of talk about gutting the IRA, the Inflation Reduction, if you will, Inflation Reduction Act. That's only $433 billion. That's not all that much. So the SALT deduction in particular is an easy pay for. It's an easy way for folks to say, Oklahoma, look, I need to get your tax extensions going. It's the folks up in the wealthy up in New York that are going to be paying for it. It's an easy sell for them. So, we do anticipate President Trump is going to give some SALT relief. They're calling it a taste of SALT, if you will. But I don't think you're going to get to the scenario where the cap is gone in its entirety or it's eliminated.
All right, Nathan, thanks so much. Nathan Dean there of Bloomberg Intelligence. He has all the intel when it comes to what's going on in Washington, and I think a lot of our clients really rely on him for stuff like this.